YIF runs for a total of 8 terms. Every term is divided into about 1.5 months. Some of the courses that really stood out, and they've stayed with me even post the YIF. One is definitely Professor Omkar Goswami's course on India's economy, the past, present, and the future. There's extra demand for one course, then that's where timestamp comes in. So you have to be extremely active. And as soon as the bidding process, you'll be getting mails from the YIF program team that the bidding is starting at this time. So you have to be on your laptop at that time, especially if you're if you're sure you want one course.
Hello, welcome to the Evolving Being. I'm Tenzin Gizom. I support students in building great applications at Evolving Being. I graduated from Ashoka University with an advanced major in psychology and a minor in media studies. Evolving Being is the only liberal arts focused admissions consultancy in India. We help students prepare for the admissions process of various liberal arts universities such as Ashoka, CREA, Flame, and etc. So today we have a guest speaker with us who will share his YIF journey and give us insights into the program and the admission process. First, if I may introduce our speaker briefly, Shome graduated from Warwick Business School in 2017 with a distinction in marketing and strategy. Shome then went on to join the family business, a renowned food and beverage chain located throughout the Delhi NCR. During his 3-year stay there, he spearheaded the company's foray into the cloud kitchen business, adding 4 kitchens to the company's portfolio. In early 2021, he decided it was time for a career change, and that's when he applied for the Young Indian Fellowship at Ashoka University. During his time at the fellowship, he managed to secure a job at leading research and advisory firm called Gardner. He is scheduled to start working with them later this month. And we also have Ms. Garima Shekhar with us today. Garima is an incoming Masters in Education candidate at Harvard University, and as a Fulbright scholar, her program is funded by the government of the US and India jointly. She's the founder of Evolving Being. Garima will be in conversation with Shome today to discuss his YIF journey with us. Over to you, Garima.
Thank you, Kizom. I think it's wonderful to have Shome with us. Shome, thank you so much for taking out your time and sharing your insights on YIF with all of us. Would you like to talk about what are some of the courses that you enjoy taking and faculty that you love working with?
Firstly, I'd like to thank the Evolving Being team for having me on this on their channel. So I did a total of nearly 23 courses during the course of my 1 year at the YIF. And for all those of you who don't know, the YIF program is split up into 8 terms. So every course runs for about a month and a half. Just to give you a little idea about the courses, every term is dedicated to a particular discipline. That could be philosophy, it could be economics, it could be public policy, it could be cinema and communication. So there's a wide variety of courses that we're taught over these 8 months. Also, over these 8 months, we've got 2 courses that account for 2 credits. One is the ELM and the other one is the critical writing program. I'll speak about them later when we deep dive into the courses. Rest of the courses account for 1 credit each. For me, some of the courses that really stood out, and they've stayed with me even post the YIF. One is definitely Professor Omkar Goswami's course on India's economy, the past, present, and the future, which is something that we studied in term 7. Of course, the most spoken about course and the one that everyone sort of is eager to attend as part of the YIF program is Professor Rudrangshu Mukherjee's Makers of Modern India. It was an absolute treat to sit in that class.
How are courses selected? I know there's a bidding process and it's something which everybody wants to know about. So how do you go about selecting your courses at YIF?
Okay, so YIF runs for a total of 8 terms. every term is divided into about 1.5 months. And over the course of the last 1 year, I have done about 24 courses. So I'm just going to tell your viewers now as to how the bidding process works. So in a typical term, you'll be doing about 2 to 4 courses. It ranges between that. And the bidding process works something like this. Students are required to log into the SIS portal, and about 1 week prior to that, the next term commencing, students will be required to bid for their courses. So usually there's a set of 2 courses in every term that students will have to bid for. So you're supposed to allocate 200 points in total between these courses. So say supposing I've got the options of 2 courses and I really want one. So I would ideally give one of those courses 190 and the other one 10, right? And that shows that, I'm clearly more interested in getting the course that I've given 190 to. And every course has a limited number of seats. So given that our batch had about 195 students, it was usually divided 100, or somewhere in that late 90s for each course. So, for many people, you may be indifferent to either of the courses, right? You're open to getting any of them. So then you'll sort of you'd put the weights accordingly. Maybe you put 150 to 150 to 1, or maybe if you're totally open to getting either, you'd put 100. And say supposing there's extra demand for one course, then that's where timestamp comes in. So you have to be extremely active. And, as soon as the bidding process, you'll be getting mails from the YIF program team that the bidding is starting at this time. So you have to be on your laptop at that time, especially if you're if you're sure you want one course, you have to be there and, bid for it the second it opens, because sometimes the popular courses tend to get taken faster. But usually I would say, for me, at least during my YIF journey, I always got the courses that I wanted. So it's most likely that, you get what you want. But I'm just putting that out because sometimes the timestamp factor comes into account if one course gets full up faster than the other. So it's very basic, the bidding process. And of course, the YIF program team explains that much more in detail once students get on board.
Yeah, that sounds pretty fair actually, And I think I liked your strategy of putting more weightage, more bids on the course you want to do, and go into that extreme zone if you really like a particular course. And which are the courses that students really look like? Which are the courses that are sought after? Are there any that you
Absolutely. There are some. So Foundations of Leadership was a course that everyone absolutely loved, taught by Professor Dwight. But luckily for everyone, that wasn't an optional course. That was a core course. So all 200 of us, 195 of us did that together. Professor Mukherjee's course also, we did it in batches of 2, but everyone got a chance to do it. Then I feel that Professor Omkar Goswami's course, which was India's economy, past, present and future, was a course that was much sought after. Then we had Professor Anunay Chaube's Art Appreciation, but that was again taught in 2 separate batches, but everyone got a chance to do that. So those were a few of them. And some of the other courses that were really sought after were, there were some of the ELM projects that were really sought after, and that's where the competition really kicked in, and everyone felt the heat at that point more than the courses. I felt when it came to your ELM bidding, that's when because that's a project you had to work on for 8 months, right? It required a lot of your time and effort, so that's where the competition kicked in. But but like I said earlier, like when it came to the courses, it is very unlikely that you will not get what you want.
No, I think that makes absolute sense as a matter of fact. So I know that YIF is known for engaging students in a group sort of a format. So there are a lot of group assignments, and they focus on team building, leadership skills, etc. And if you don't have your traditional exams, so to speak, like there might be a few sit-down ones, But can you shed more light on how different courses assessed you, or what was the grading system like?
Absolutely. And like you rightly said, a major emphasis of a lot of the courses in the ELM program are on teamwork. And I think this is one of the beauties of this program, because given, we had for a lot of us, we had the first few months online. And it was actually working in teams that helped us to get us to know our batchmates better. Because sitting at home, I would say, like in the first 6 months before I went to campus, it was only through courses that I actually got to know so many different people, and I could sort of associate a face to that when I went to campus. So I think that really helped. And coming to what the grading criteria is, yes, it is definitely not your conventional grading criteria. I think apart from one course in the program, we didn't have a written examination for any of the other courses. And deliverables vary course to course. They could be in the form of essays, they could be in the form of group presentations, they could be in the form of attendance, they could be in the form of one-on-one conversations with the TAs. So it's really not your conventional form of grading. And speaking about what the grading system is, it's you have an A minus, B plus, B minus. So it's the CGPA system, right, where you're assessed out of 4. So if I'm not wrong, if you have a 95 to 100, that's an A, then 90 to 95 is an A minus, and it goes down that way. So yes, absolutely not your conventional grading system. For instance, I'll just tell you about some of the courses and what the grading systems look like. To talk about art appreciation, which was something which was brand new to me, we literally had to prepare 2 canvases followed by a presentation, right? So I mean, it's really abstract in a way, and that's what confuses people when they come here also. That because we are all, as per like what we've done in the past, the conventional education system is a paper and pen exam. But everyone was a little taken aback when they said you have to submit 2 canvases followed by a presentation. People were just like, how are you going to assess us based on our artwork? But that's what makes it extremely interesting. For most courses, we did have essays that we had to write, either 1 essay or 2 essays. For instance, I did a course in term 7, yes, ecological economics, where we had 5 deliverables, where you had 2 written papers, 1 MCQ followed by a final presentation. So deliverables could range from 1 deliverable to 5 deliverables. It depends on the course. But my sort of advice to people, fellow potential applicants for the course, or those who got admitted to the courses, don't go by the deliverables, go by the course. There's a course outline that you get before every term and before you go in for bidding. Go through that. Whatever you feel will add more value to you, or whatever you feel you're more interested in learning about, I would say go for those, right? Because the learning is definitely more important than the grading. And like for me, I'm going to be open about this. Like the course that I took away the most from, and I felt that added most value to me and my learning, was the course that I scored the lowest in, but I have no regrets about that. So just don't go by that. There'll be courses that seem easier. Don't go for the grades. Go for what you feel you're going to take home from the course.